to another episode of Haunt Talk. Today we're going to be reviewing 100 Acre Manor in Pennsylvania. Every haunt in Pennsylvania, I swear to God, says it's close to Pittsburgh. It's kind of funny, you know? Like, well, I mean, not the ones that are in Philadelphia, but really, like, so many of them are like, oh, real close to, like, Pittsburgh. And it's, like, an hour away from Pittsburgh. It's like, that's not close to Pittsburgh.
Not close.
It's like how, like, everything's close to Cleveland. In the
right,
area.
yeah.
Like, no, like, it's not that close to Cleveland, but it's, like, it's the only thing that people know. Mm-hmm. So they're like, but anyways, if you watch the channel much at all, you know we go here every year. One, because we like it, and two, because it opens early.
Yes.
It opened last weekend.
Yes.
Or, well, when you're watching it, it'll be like 2 weekends ago, but we went on our second weekend because we were in Florida the weekend it opened. We watched our Universal and, Halloween Horror Nights in Busch Gardens review and Hundred Manor. Those are online, so you can go watch those. Before we get into the review, make sure you're liking and subscribing, all of that fun stuff. Also, make sure to check out our new merch line. We have Haunt Talk merch, which has the little pumpkins that flank us on it. It says Haunt Talk on the front, and in the back it says Haunt Talk in Japanese. Goes down the back. It looks cool. Buying it helps support us. We also have mugs and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody likes the design. Let us know what you think of the design actually in the comments, and purchase it because that'd be cool of you.
Yeah.
Wear our shit. Our shirts should be in here soon, actually, so hopefully we're wearing them for the next round of videos. Also, check out our Patreon. You can become a patron there. There's different, like, little rewards and stuff for the different tiers. You get your name, like, in the credits, and it just helps support us. And lastly, if you'd like to support us, there's something called Super Thanks. It's underneath the video. It basically gives us a tip, and it helps us out, because, again, we're a small channel, so that kind of stuff, helps our pockets a tiny bit for the amount of money we spend on gas and haunted houses during this season, because we just did 4 haunted houses this weekend, and that was an adventure.
It was a lot.
Yeah, sure was. But that being said, now we need to refer to the Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead. Book of the Dead. All right. Now that we have the Book of the Dead all opened up, we can get into our first categories, as always, which is sets and props.
Yeah. So, I mean, this place always has really phenomenal sets and props. They always go all out with it. The only thing that we were kind of noticed that from the previous years, not a lot really changed. There was some things that I noticed that were a little bit tweaked, and like one of the haunts, because they have different categories in here, and one of the areas seemed a little bit bigger. I don't know how or why, or if they got rid of something else.
Maybe we're crazy.
Maybe we're crazy. Who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to tell with as many as we go to, but yeah, none of the themes really changed this year, because they did a pretty big theme change last year with the addition of, I forget what they call it, but it's basically a Yeti themed haunt. It's like in the mountains.
Yeah.
But the first one you're going to come across is like the Black Plague theme.
Yeah.
Like you're in the streets of London, and werewolves and stuff. Which actually I don't even know. Is it a plague theme anymore, or is it supposed to be werewolves now?
Because they were talking about a curfew, and I think some people were talking about the plague. I don't know.
Says the times have changed and the darkness has fallen. The smell of posies. Yeah, so definitely still about plagues.
Yeah.
This would be the bubonic plague, wouldn't it? Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, is what it's about. Because it says werewolf, plague doctors, hellish creatures, werewolves in London. It's really cool. They have had this for quite a long time now. Mm-hmm. But I still really enjoy it because I don't really know of any other haunt that really is themed quite like this, where you walk on the streets of London. Because 100 Acre Manor does go in and outside.
Yes.
It's just a bunch of things strewn together. Like, look at like a Google Maps view of 100 Acre Manor. It's really weird.
It is.
Or Google Earth, yeah.
Yeah. We looked up it a couple years ago, and it's literally like just like...
Yeah,
it looks like a bunch of shacks, or like... I don't know. It's just really strange. Yeah,
the way this place
put
surreal.
Together.
But there's, again, we've talked about in other reviews, but assuming this is the first time you've watched it, there's cool like water features, like pipes like running into rivers. There's the streets of London you get to walk on. There's a bar scene you get to go through. Mm-hmm. Inside the bar, there's a cool animatronic thing where it's like a bar table lifts up and zombies come out of it. We did notice that there were some animatronics not working when we were there.
Yeah.
There's definitely some animatronics and puppets that the puppets might just not have been manned, but...
Yeah, and we noticed that there was maybe, like, a few newer animatronics.
Yeah.
Too, but it's like, well, fix the ones that aren't working.
But... Or take them out, which is always weird to me. Like, when you go to a place multiple times and, like, the animatronics aren't working anytime you go, and it's like, why is it still there then?
Yeah, why is it here?
Take it away if you can't fix it.
Right.
But yeah, overall, the host is like really well themed, and the second one you get to is the Breach. Now that's the alien themed one that may have been longer.
Yeah, it felt longer to me. I don't know why. It just seemed like it had a little bit more fleshed out. Because I do remember this one being like the shortest.
Yeah.
Of the themes. It just seemed like it was a little bit bigger than last time.
It did. Yeah. We always say we want alien themed things. It's more lab themed than alien themed, though. It really does feel more like a hospital, but there are aliens here and there. I do hope that this is the one that gets taken out for something else, though. Because, like, they will, take out one of the themes and completely redo it.
Yeah.
And then the next one is Folklore, so that's going to be the Yeti one.
Yes.
Well, it's not the next, it's the next one listed on the website. But I think the next one you actually get to is Voodoo, actually, isn't it? As far as the haunt goes. Yeah. Folklore, I think, is last. I also feel like they redo the paths sometimes. I might be wrong, but I feel like sometimes things come before other things.
That's why I think it seemed a little bit different, was because I feel like the paths were a little bit different.
They might have been, yeah. I feel that way a lot, and I don't know if I'm crazy, but we'll talk about Folklore next, regardless. Now, this is probably still my favorite theme that they have. It very much feels like Mount Everest at Disney with just the way that the color scheme is.
Yes.
And it's themed around
lots
Yetis.
Of blues and whites.
And like those dilapidated like flags that they, have.
Yeah.
It is really cool. There was a really cool Yeti animatronic. Mm-hmm. A big Yeti hand that is like taking an actor really away. Cool. That was cool. They actually did have snow. I don't remember if they had snow this year, but they did have snow.
Yes.
Going in between the cabins, and they have really cool cabin facades. It really does feel like, with the colors and the snow and the vibes, it really did feel like it was like winter. I just wish some of it's outside, but I do wish there was a way to maybe make it cold.
It was a little bit cold, but not cold enough. Yeah, it did drop in temperature a little bit, but it didn't get like
parts of these
cold.
Scenes I think are outside though, and the way this is structured, I don't really think they have like an air conditioning system much, but
right.
Really that was my favorite theme. Then Voodoo, I don't think this has changed much. This is the one that's like real Satan-y. You're like walking through like a graveyard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's graveyard, there's like a voodoo shack and some alligators and that kind of fun stuff. There's a big old shark.
Yeah, there's a devil church
in there.
Yeah, the shark stuff, I mean, I get, because it kind of feels, I feel like once you get past the church and that, it feels less voodoo, even though it's still the theme is the voodoo one.
Yeah. I know last year.
I get it, because it's a bayou. But,
yeah. Last year we actually called it the Jaws theme area.
Yeah.
Because it did seem kind of like, we're in Amity.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like that, but it is cool because like that area, and they've had this every year since I've went there, but they have like a pond and a waterfall, and you walk like in front of the waterfall, and then you go up and walk back to you're in the backside of water. But they in years past they have had a half claustrophobia as you walk there and like fake weeds and stuff you push away through. Now it's just an open path.
Area, yeah.
But yeah, after that is when you get to that moving shack thing, which I might be wrong, but we're pretty sure it used to be a room that like when you walk to one end, it would just tilt. But now it's like they have some kind of hydraulic system under it.
There was something going on wonky because he stepped on it and then all of a sudden it just pushed the other way, and I was on the ramp like halfway between
tried to
solid ground and that, and I literally felt like I was getting catapulted into the scene. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and it just kind of did whatever it wanted, and it was kind of freaky because you had no idea what it was going to do, if it was going to drop, if it was going to shoot up. It was pretty cool, actually. I liked it.
Yeah.
So I really felt like I had to hold on to things, and there was a cool scare in there, which we'll talk about, and scare factor, but yeah, that was cool. And then the last theme is Hallows Eve. which I really like this theme. I know, like, the first couple of years they did it, I wasn't the biggest fan, but I think they've improved it.
Yes. Yeah, because the first year they did it, it seemed like it was kind of haphazardly, like, done. Like, it was like, oh, let's just slap some Halloween decorations and call it a day. Now it seems like they've fleshed it out more, where it's like, you know, you're in a dilapidated house and it's all decorated for Halloween, you know, and it just kind of, like, it has more depth to it now.
Yeah, because, well, the theme of All Hallows Eve is that there's multiple themes, because you start off like a Halloween party, and they even have one of the tables decked out with, like, old school, like, I don't even know what you call it, but, like, old school, like, party wear and stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like, there's a room where you walk in and there's a bunch of, like, fake ghosts. One might be real, but they have, like, a Halloween mask on. All the like, little props do. That was cool. But then you'd eventually get to, like, outside. To, like, oh, there's, like, a witch's hut. There's, like, a campsite where, like, something has happened.
Yeah.
There's a chainsaw guy in there. This time his chainsaw did work and he didn't have to make the noises. That was so funny last year when his wouldn't work and he was wearing... That was funny. But yeah, I really liked it. There's some gross sense in that one, I will say, in the All Hallows Eve one.
Yeah.
But yeah, just traditional Halloween stuff. 100 Acre Manor is always really pretty.
Yes.
We always like the sets and props, and this year, you know, wasn't really any different. We gave it a 9.75. The only detractor is that there was a fair amount of things that seemed like they weren't working.
Yes.
And the breach feels just like it's getting a little bit old. Like, even the laser tunnel that you walk through kind of felt like it's seen better days.
Yeah.
Like, you can clearly see where the walls are, like, connected to each other, and it's kind of, yeah. So, I do hope that one is removed for next year and that they do something else unique there.
Yes.
But that does it for sets and props, so we will move into actors.
All right. 100 Acre Manor always usually has quite a few actors in it, and this year they did. They had a good amount. Their costumes are always really elaborate. The person that's at the queue line, she is just like...
She's something else.
She's something. I don't know. She does different things each time, because the last time she wasn't like this, but she's dressed in like a Victorian clothes because the first area you go to is London and stuff. So she's in that kind of character. Well, this time she was like wet.
She looked wet, yeah.
She was like wringing out her clothes.
Well, yeah,
and like her hair was wet. She kept playing with it. She kept just doing this and
she was
like
real
dripping
gross
it
looking.
on people.
The one guy in her group, she was like trying to get him to like smell her fingers and her armpits and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty grody.
Yeah, she was fun. Yeah, it was really ridiculous. And she had she was kept talking to us and she was just funny.
Yeah.
There's other cute. Now we did the whatever they call it, the fast pass here though. What do they call it, like RIP or something, I think they call it here too, or VIP. They actually call it VIP.
Yeah.
But anyways, we did that, so we skipped the line, so we didn't get to see a lot of the queue actors, but there was a couple that would come into... There's like a little bit of the haunt you step into before you actually enter the event. And there's like this girl that had like, it must have been like actual like metal fake weapons, because she would like scrape them together and stuff, and she was all gnarly looking. They always do really good costuming for the queue actors. Probably because you see them so much and they're in such good lighting, you have to make sure they're really good.
Yeah, they usually are really, like, into it and really done up really awesome. The people that were inside the haunt, they do like to, like, follow you, like, in their scenes and stuff like that, and holler at you and stuff like that. And that's always fun, because you're like, okay, you can... go away now.
Yeah.
Like, leave me alone.
There's one in the London section who like made us, what song? Do you remember what song? Oh, it was Ring Around
the Rosie. Yeah. It was a teacher scene, I believe. Yeah, it was a school scene. And she's like, of course, like not learning our lessons or something like that. And then she's like, trying to get us to sing, and of course we were singing along, and she's like, just that was awful.
Well, yeah, because she did it, and then she like weaved in somewhere, maybe she just followed us, but then like after we got done singing, then she like jump scared us and like told us we were terrible. Quick note, there was like a side game where like you have to like throw a ball and like dunk a clown, and I was kind of watching him, and the guy that like running it looks at me, he's like, what are you looking at, ugly? And I'm like, okay. That was nice. But anyways, yeah. Let's see. And so, like, yeah, the next area was... I feel like the least amount of actors were in the breach.
Yeah, there wasn't very many in there at all.
They actually had people, though, in the breach inside of those, like... I've usually seen them empty when we've went, at least.
Yes.
They're like pods that look like...
The pods, yeah, they actually had people in there.
Yeah, they actually had people in them, so that was pretty cool. I did miss because in years past, there's actually been an actor in, like, full costume as an alien.
Yes.
He would stalk you in, like, the laser tunnel and stuff, but I didn't... When we were there, we didn't see anybody dressed as an alien, I don't think.
No, it was
all, like,
just
victims.
Yeah, it was all victims and...
Or, like, deranged, maybe doctors, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any actual aliens, which makes me sad. Just prop aliens. Yeah. Now, the Yeti area was cool. There wasn't as many Yetis in costumes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Because last year we were really excited because they came up to us and just, like, flailed their arms like this.
It was pretty funny.
And it was pretty
Yeah, there was, like, a
funny,
lot of Yetis, I feel like, but I think last year...
Yeah, there was a lot.
There was only one, maybe two people dressed as a Yeti, but I think it was just one.
I remember seeing one. He came out of like a tent.
Yeah.
And then everybody else was kind of like hikers and park rangers and things like that.
But there was a decent amount of scares in that. There's a decent amount of, like, actors in that section. The voodoo section, there was a good amount of dead space in the voodoo section for the cemetery.
Yeah.
But it did get better as we got into that rocking shack boat thing we were talking about. There was a really good double scare where someone's, like, in the middle, and then there was a snake puppet that someone pushed out at me.
Yes.
So this guy got me, and then I look over, and there's a snake puppet coming out at me, and yeah. So that was a really good actor interaction moment. The actors are costumed very fitting for the area that they're in.
Yes. Yeah, they are very themed for where they're at. Usually they don't deviate from that.
You like the ghost at the All Hallows Eve.
The ghost. Yeah, because she's like, we walk in there and she's like, I don't want to be at this party anymore. Because it's kind of set up like you're at a Halloween party at somebody's house and stuff. And she just was like, just hollering at us. And I just thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah, and that was cute. The witch looked really cool.
The witch was creepy.
She didn't really jump scare much, but she just kind of came out doing, like, her old school witch cackle.
Yeah, and she had the nose and the chin and everything. And I was like, whoa. Like, I couldn't tell. I apologize if she's watching, but I couldn't tell if it was real nose and chin because it was really... She looked like a witch.
Yeah, so good job for the people that do the makeup here. Yeah. But yeah, overall, we really liked the actors. A good amount of variety, good scares, good dialogue, all of that. Just a couple dead areas, and those did kind of stand out, which is weird because some areas were so filled. It was like, just take one person from this area and put them there.
Over there.
Yeah, just kind of, But either way, we still were really impressed. We gave actors a 9.5.
Yes. All right, so that's moving on to scare factor. 100 Acre Manor likes to use our least favorite thing, stupid air cannons.
Yeah, there's one in particular in the alien section. I don't know if an actor activated it, if it was just a tripwire, but it's like under a thing where you can't see it, and it is so loud and so strong. I squealed. So it did effectively scare me. Yeah. It got me real good. As we mentioned, the actors had real good hiding spots. They got us quite a few times.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even leading, and they got me quite a few times. They don't touch or anything here, so, not real intense as far as that goes. But, yeah, it was pretty back-to-back in some areas, though.
Yeah. Like, I was even getting, like, some good scares, and I was in the back, and usually, like, the back person doesn't get that much. And it was actually surprising that, I was actually getting some pretty decent scares, so.
Yeah. Like I said, it was weird because we said that there's dead spots, but, like, when it wasn't dead spots, it really did seem like it was just scare. Which, honestly, the dead spots almost, like, sometimes the dead spots can be a little bit nice to kind of just give you a breath when they don't last too long. But, yeah. The boat, again, we mentioned, that was real freaky.
Yep.
And I got that real good double scare there. There was a real freaky... I don't think there was a scare that happened, but it was real freaky. It was, like a tunnel that was just filled with fog with a light on the end. We couldn't see anything in front of us.
Yeah, that was really strange.
And there was just like, I think, droning or something. Yeah. And it was just kind of creepy.
That was weird, yeah. Because usually I'm so like, I don't have to grab onto people all that often. I think I mentioned this in another video. The only time that it really affects me is if it's like really bad strobe lighting. But this time I was like, yeah, I need to grab on because I couldn't like see anything. It was like, what was going on? It was really, really effective, very creepy.
And there's some good gore in certain sections because I do have like 5 themes, but there are some good gore, some good like nasty scents and stuff like that. Overall, we felt that 100 Acre Manor is really scary for a haunt that doesn't do touch.
Yes.
Just because there's just so many back-to-back scares and so many loud noises and stuff. We did give them a 9 for scare factor, so yeah, a pretty scary house. So that brings us to value.
All right, so it took us roughly about 27 minutes to get through the house,
which is good length.
Which is a good length. They have different levels that you can get. Just general admission is $28. The VIP is $40.
Worth it.
Yeah. And the super VIP is $65.
Yeah, it's $65. So the super VIP, though, does include, let's see, so super VIP is not valid. You get a special hoodie with it. I think is the only difference it looks like. Yeah, so that's the only difference it looks like between VIP and super VIP is, there's this thing that says Platinum VIP mission coming soon. Who knows what that'll be? I'm on their website now. Looks like there are group discounts as well, so you can kind of look into that if you want to. I'm not going to go over all those prices. But yes, you get a hoodie. So if you planned on buying a hoodie anyways for $25 extra, you can get the super VIP. And I imagine their hoodies are probably, I didn't look, but they're probably $40. That's like normal hoodie price.
Probably. And it looks like they actually have a season pass as well.
Yeah, this was not at the gate.
New. Yeah.
It's $119. It says valid any night during the season, and you get 1 ticket per night with the season pass. So that's not bad either. If you live close, it might be something. I think it's 100% worth it to pay $12 extra to get VIP admission. Because, like, they do not... Because they want to have a good experience. They don't conga line you in here.
No.
They do take their time. It's not a ridiculous amount of time, but they do take their time sending you in. And I would say the line that we would have waited in was probably be an hour and a half. If we would have waited, if not... I'd say about an hour and a half, probably. And we waited less than 10 minutes. So...
Yeah, because I want to say she probably... she was probably pumping people in like every 3 minutes or so, I want to say.
Yeah, I would say that's about accurate.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a pretty good spacing, considering a lot of places usually do like 45 seconds.
And something else I really appreciated is, so she's like, so there's 2 people in front of us, and then we had a group of 3, and she's like, we're going to send you guys in together. Unless you don't want to go together and you want separate since you're VIP. She's like, and I don't know if they always do this, but she's like, I'll give you the option. And I'm like, well, to be honest, we'd prefer to go by ourselves, and they can have a better experience. We have a better experience. She's like, cool. So she sent us separate. Yep. And it was also nice. We never caught up to them and no one else ever caught up to us.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like we were having a whole haunted house to ourselves. Which is great.
I mean, and that happened last year as well. So like, however they operate things, the actors and them do a real good job of holding and stuff like that, it seems like.
Yeah.
Value, though, we find it is really good. We gave it a 9 for value.
Yep.
We think that, you're getting about for general admission, about $1 a minute.
$1 a minute.
So that anytime it's $1 a minute, we think that's very fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for our overall score, we did give them a 9.25.
Yep.
It's a little bit less than last year, just because of that little tiny nick that we took out from the sets and props.
Yeah, the sets and props, and we wish we would have seen a little bit more change from last year. Now, obviously, who knows? Those things happen. Still a great thing. And if you go every year, you definitely should go this year. It's for the most part, just as good as last year. We're just a little bit tired of the breach theme. Just because I feel like it needs to be completely redone, or it needs a fresh touch of paint, basically.
Yeah.
Is what I personally feel
like a reimagining or something.
It's not bad by any means. Like, it's still better than a lot of other places have that one particular theme, but... Yeah. So, have you been there? What did you guys think about it? Where else would you like to see us go? Make sure you're liking and subscribing, leaving us comments, and make sure you ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future upcoming videos. thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.